Imagine flying just 60 feet above the waves in complete darkness, carrying a ton of explosives into enemy territory. Your helicopter is dodging some of the most advanced air defense systems in the world. Below you, the Mediterranean passes in a blur. Ahead lies the most ambitious Israeli military raid since the raid on Entebbe. This isn't a scene from a movie. This is the story of how 120 Israeli soldiers pulled off what might be the most daring military raid of the decade, penetrating 200 kilometers into enemy territory to prevent a nightmare scenario. Deep in the mountains of Syria, 200 kilometers from Israel's border, Iran was building something that kept intelligence officers awake at night. A massive underground facility designed to produce hundreds of precision-guided missiles every year. But this wasn't just another weapons factory. This was Iran's masterpiece, a facility dug dozens of meters into solid rock, protected by 4 separate surface-to-air missile sites, and designed to produce weapons that could strike any target in Israel with pinpoint accuracy. The stakes? Imagine a weapon so precise it could hit a specific window on a specific building from hundreds of kilometers away. Now imagine hundreds of these weapons in the hands of terror organizations like Hezbollah. This is the story of how Israel said, "Not on our watch," and launched Operation Many Ways, one of the largest special operations in IDF history. The story begins in 2017, when Israeli intelligence detected something unusual. Iran and Syria had embarked on an ambitious project, not just another weapons storage facility, but a full-scale production plant. For years, Israeli intelligence watched as Iran dug deeper and deeper into the mountain, creating a network of tunnels that would eventually stretch up to 70 meters into the earth. The facility was a fortress. 4 surface-to-air missile sites created an iron dome over the area. Dozens of guards patrolled the perimeter. Networks of thick steel doors protected the interior. When the elite Shaldeg unit first proposed sending troops in by helicopter, the response from senior commanders was immediate and unanimous. No chance. Negative. The area is full of surface-to-air missiles, radars. It seemed impossible. But in the world of special operations, impossible is often just a first draft. What the Iranians didn't know was that while they were building their underground fortress, Israel was preparing something unprecedented. A female intelligence officer, whose name remains classified, had spent months building an ironclad case for the operation. Her persistence would prove crucial. When others said no, she kept pushing, convinced that this facility had to be stopped before it became operational. The plan that emerged was audacious. First, launch a conventional airstrike against another Syrian weapons manufacturing site, a decoy to draw attention and resources away from the real target. Meanwhile, special forces would execute the real mission, using a combination of techniques never before attempted at this scale. The preparation was extraordinary. Soldiers trained to operate forklifts. Yes, forklifts, because they'd need them inside the facility. They practiced breaching reinforced doors under extreme time pressure. They memorized every room, every corridor, every potential threat point until, as one soldier later said, "I felt at home because I knew every detail." Just moments before boarding the helicopters, Shaldeg commander gathered his fighters for one final briefing. The air was thick with tension. Everyone knew the stakes. "We'll complete this mission. Return home safely," he told them, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "The entire Air Force and IDF are behind us. Watch out for each other. I trust you like I trust no one else." In that moment, 120 soldiers carried not just equipment, but the hopes of their nation. Each one knew that failure wasn't an option. Each one knew that somewhere in Israel, families were sleeping safely, unaware that their security rested on what would happen in the next few hours. The mission would push the boundaries of what was possible. Helicopters, loaded with soldiers and explosives, would have to fly just 60 feet above the Mediterranean to avoid detection, so low that the pilots could almost touch the waves. One mistake, one detection, and the entire operation would be compromised. The numbers tell an extraordinary story. 14 fighter jets provided cover and executed the decoy mission. 6 helicopters carried the assault teams. 5 UAVs provided real-time intelligence. 120 fighters from elite units, including Shaldeg and Unit 669, would execute the ground mission. In total, 49 separate airstrikes would reach their targets with precision. From the moment aircraft entered Syrian airspace until landing, they had just 18 minutes. This operation would become the crown jewel of the Shaldeg unit, which had already broken records with an astounding 800 operations since the war began. But even for this elite unit, this mission was different. The stakes were higher, the risks greater, and the target more ambitious than anything they had attempted before. Taking no chances, Unit 669 established a field hospital right in the heart of the operation area. Every contingency was planned for, every risk calculated. Inside the mountain, the teams found what they were looking for: advanced assembly lines, crucial machinery including a planetary mixer, and invaluable intelligence documents. But they also found something unexpected: evidence that this facility was just the first of several planned across Syria. In just 50 minutes, a time frame that would make most special forces commanders nervous, the forces breached the facility, eliminated 4 guards, gathered critical intelligence, and planted a ton of explosives at key structural points. As the Shaldag fighters withdrew, distanced themselves, the unit's explosives officer activated the detonation switch before boarding the helicopters. Fighters who participated in the operation said the explosion was strongly felt. The operation wasn't without its close calls. Throughout the mission, Syrian reserve forces began arriving at the complex, exactly as intelligence had warned might happen. 1 fighter on a motorcycle was eliminated, while others in vehicles, witnessing the overwhelming firepower deployed by the Israeli forces, wisely chose to retreat. The threat of Syrian divisions deploying thousands of fighters had been real, but the speed and precision of the operation prevented them from mounting an effective response. The distance from landing zone to the tunnel entrances was 700 meters, 700 meters of exposed ground that had to be covered quickly and quietly. Along the way, the teams encountered and eliminated 4 Syrian guards, while air support neutralized dozens more through precise bombardment. Every step had to be perfect, and on this night it was. The explosion that followed didn't just destroy Iran's missile factory, it shattered their entire regional weapons manufacturing strategy. Years of planning, millions in investment, and a crucial piece of Iran's precision missile program disappeared in a series of carefully calculated detonations. But the strategic impact went far beyond the physical destruction. This strike would severely impact Hezbollah's ability to rehabilitate and renew its weapons arsenal, dealing a crucial blow to Iran's proxy network in the region. The message to Iran and its proxies was immediate and far-reaching. No facility, no matter how deep or how well protected, was beyond Israel's reach. The distance from Israel doesn't matter. The depth underground doesn't matter. If you build it, we can reach it. In one perfectly executed operation, Israel had demonstrated that the rules of the game had changed forever. This operation wasn't just about destroying a weapons facility, it was about protecting civilians, both Israeli and Syrian, from the devastating impact of precision missiles in the wrong hands. It was about showing that innovation, determination, and careful planning can overcome any obstacle. But more than that, this operation drew a line in the sand. In a world where precision weapons are becoming more common and more deadly, Israel demonstrated that it would go to extraordinary lengths to protect its citizens. These soldiers, whose names we may never know, risked everything to ensure that advanced missile technology wouldn't fall into the hands of those who seek to harm civilians. Their courage, innovation, and determination didn't just destroy a facility, it changed the rules of the game. If you want to discover more untold stories like this one, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. Join our journey to understand the complex reality of Israel's fight for security and peace. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like. It would be very appreciated. It helps us reach more people who care about uncovering the truth. What do you think was the most impressive part of this operation? The low-altitude helicopter insertion, the split-second timing, or the incredible boldness of striking 200 kilometers inside enemy territory? Let us know in the comments below.